Hello, welcome. So today the posts we're going to be reading are technically from a subreddit because they are where all the posts have come from, but the posts are actually based more around a user today, kindly suggested by one of you guys, Wise Words by Wiki. They suggested this specific stream of threads. So they were posted by you/MotherInPaws, and it was all posted in r/JustKnowMother-in-law. There was a few before that got deleted, so unfortunately we can't go through them, but there's still a lot to go through here today. And we probably will have to split this into a couple of videos. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in listening along to today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Thank you. And obviously thank the Words by Wiki for suggesting this as well. So, first post from MotherInPaws. I'm quite excited about this. I'm very excited. I love a good meaty series of posts to get into. I think that's why I like Best of Redditor Updates so much. But yeah, so this one's titled, She's Earned a Name, Piercing Patty, Part 1. Hi, it's me again. I'm the attorney daughter-in-law whose mother-in-law broke into her home office and read through a case file and proceeded to casually discuss it during lunch and then got immediately thrown out of the house. Remember me? Ah, yes, it's ringing bells, isn't it? Hello, old friends. I've named her Piercing Patty because of her penchant for piercing attorney-client privilege. And also because F her. Her real name is Patricia. Does it feel good to have your privacy compromised, Patty? Yeah? My client probably didn't like it either, you nosy cow. Obviously, I'm going to change some of the swear words into things that are a little more palatable for YouTube, just so I don't get suppressed. I deleted my post because I quite like my job and wish to keep it, but you guys kind of get the gist from the previous paragraph, so let's play some catch-up. Last you heard of me, I was trying my very best to forgive her because up until then, she had been a very good? No, that's not it. Adequate? She was a very adequate mother-in-law to me. Well, now she's number 1 on my blacklist, closely followed by people who stick their chewed gum on the underside of tables and people who don't like dogs. Oh, people who stick their chewing gum on the underside tables are actually the worst. I'll never forget sticking my finger in some that was stuck under a table in the library at school when I was in middle school. It's still, remembering that makes me feel sick to this day. This is the saga of how she and I came to be no contact. It is very long, with a lot of moving parts, so I will likely have to break this story into several posts. Piercing Patty, PP for efficiency, has a younger sister, auntie-in-law, who in turn has a daughter, cousin-in-law. Auntie-in-law is a nice lady, but our relationship consists of very polite conversation every other Thanksgiving, so I don't consider us very close. Auntie-in-law and PP live in the southern state. Darling husband and I live in a much larger, more urban coastal state. Cousin-in-law currently attends college in our city. You don't know how hard that was to say. Had to reread that 3 times. She is a very bright young woman, and I've grown to be very fond of her. Since we are the only family cousin-in-law has in the area, we get the pleasure of hosting her for long weekends during holidays, like MLK when a 3-day weekend is nice, but would not warrant a trip all the way home for a college student. It's great. She gets to come do laundry, and I have someone to talk to about my guilty pleasure, celebrity gossip. We feed her, she walks the dog for us, sometimes I treat her to a mani-pedi, and then we send her back with clean clothes and some leftovers. Auntie-in-law has expressed how grateful she is that we open our home to her kid. It's no problem at all, Auntie-in-law. It truly is our pleasure as your kid is awesome. Well, about 2 months ago, cousin-in-law was struck by a drunk driver as she was driving home from class. Goodness me. It was bad. The car looked like a crumpled piece of paper. When I went to the tow yard to get insurance figured out and I saw how her vehicle looked, I felt like the wind was knocked out of me. We were very lucky she only suffered from a broken leg and a fractured wrist, but it could have been so much worse. And I honestly cannot even talk about the accident without devolving into pure, unadulterated rage. Naturally, auntie-in-law was in a frenzy and needed to see her daughter ASAP. Now, this part is unconfirmed confirmed, but the story is that auntie-in-law was so emotional about the whole ordeal, she asked PP to come along for support. I think the more obvious reality is that PP invited herself along, and auntie-in-law didn't have the capacity to say no to her because, hello, her child is injured. PP, I'm on to you. All those times I thought I was being paranoid, I wasn't. I see you now, clear as day. You are committed to the long con. I know this won't make sense to you guys, but it will in my next few posts. Darling husband and I obviously go to the hospital first. We see cousin-in-law, made sure she was okay. Darling husband stayed with her while the doctors did doctor things, and I went off to do lawyer things, because if you think you can get drunk and T-bone the only other person in my life who even knows the name of all the Kardashians, you've got another thing coming. Auntie-in-law and PP arrive mid-afternoon the next morning. They literally booked the next flight out. Cool, I get it. But we did call you guys to tell you that cousin-in-law was pretty much A-okay, so maybe you could have slowed your roll a bit and planned this trip a little more carefully? As in, where are you gonna stay when you get into town, auntie-in-law and PP? Of course you expect it to be my house. Why wouldn't it be? It's not like I banned PP from it for breaking into my home office and doing shite that would get my metaphorical A kicked by the state bar or anything. But since cousin-in-law is in the hospital, I'm the one that's going to look like the butthole for following through with my rules. Next up, part 2, PP almost gets arrested twice, and part 3, the unforgivable thing. Well, obviously we're gonna read part 2, aren't we? Piercing Patty almost gets arrested. Twice. Part 2. So, last we left off, there was a small family reunion at the hospital. Cousin-in-law, darling husband, me, and auntie-in-law, and the star of our show, Piercing Patty. Auntie-in-law came swooping into the hospital, just mumming it up left and right. She was fluffing pillows, talking to doctors, calling whoever it is you need to call when your kid is effed up. Meanwhile, PP is sitting in the corner acting really tired. Now I say acting really tired because it was her comical adaptation of how a tired person would act. She was dramatically yawning, stretching her arms, rubbing her eyes. She looked like a French mime. She didn't say it outright, but I knew she wanted to go home with me and darling husband. Too effing bad. As soon as I saw that cousin-in-law was being cared for by a doting mother, I was ready to peace out. I was wiped. I gave darling husband the signal we use at cocktail parties to indicate let's GTFO, and we put on our coats. PP stops us and has the audacity to say, "Well, what about me?" What about you, PP? For goddamn once, none of this is about you. Where am I supposed to stay? Effing don't you creatures live in a cookie tree or some crap? I paused for a second and realised it's not about me either. Fully ignoring PP, I turned to auntie-in-law and asked her where she had intended on staying. Auntie-in-law tells me that she plans on staying at the hotel adjacent to the hospital because they didn't rent a car and she wanted to be accessible to her daughter. You know, like a normal person. So there you go, PP. If the real reason you came was to help auntie-in-law, then I guess your ass is staying at the hotel too. But alas, logic does not shame a just no mother-in-law. PP, can I come home with you guys to rest for a few hours? Darling husband shoots me a glance because he knows I'm about to pop off and he's giving me the go easy eyes. Me, no. PP, why not? Me, because auntie-in-law needs help with her daughter. That's the sole reason you came, isn't it? Ha, bitch, I know it ain't. You mad we skipped 2017 holiday season with you and you want to get back into my house over my dead body. PP, auntie-in-law is fine without me for a few hours. Me, then why did you even come? Anyways, darling husband and I don't have time to chauffeur you back and forth all day. We have a lot of work to catch up on and we are going home. PP, oh, I'll just call a cab later. What do you kids call it? A goober? Oh my god. You know damn well what it's called. I shoved you into one 6 months ago so your dumb ass could get to the airport. At this point, I knew what she was doing. I felt kind of paranoid up until now, but she kept pushing and pushing to come back into my home after I threw her out, and I was going to push back. Darling husband: well, if you need a place to nap just for a couple of hours, me, then go check into your hotel, Patricia. Everyone's had a long night. Darling husband knows he almost effed up real bad, so he just shut up and left the room. I followed. I love that. I could just imagine, like, the quickness that OP interjected the husband there. It was like, say another fucking word, I dare you. Darling husband and I get home, we crawl into bed and sleep for exactly 1 hour before our phones start ringing. It's the gate guard. Okay, so let's back up for a second. We bought a house in a gated community less than a year ago. To enter into the community, you either need a beepy box on your dashboard, or your name needs to be added by a resident of the community to the gate list. Do you see where this is going? I fear I do, OP. I fear I do. Guard calls us and tells us that a car just dropped off a lady who is screaming at him. She is repeating over and over that she is darling husband's mother and demands to be let in. She is saying that she used to be on the list, so there must be a mistake. There's no mistake, PP. I took you off that damn thing almost immediately after I exorcised you from my home. Be gone, Satan! Darling husband groans and puts on his pants to go wrangle his mother. Oh my god. This is the best part, my llamas. So, before he can make the approximately 1 minute drive to the front gate, PP goes ballistic. She charges the little booth that the guards have and starts throwing things. Staplers, radios, stationery, all airborne. She got a few good throws in there too. The guard tells me that she made contact with a pen cup. One of them suffered a blow to the noggin. Flumming heck! Obviously they call the cops. Darling husband calls me and tells me to get down there because they're about to arrest her, and I say, oh no, she had better call a lawyer. Oh my god. Oh, I love it. Okay, disclaimer. I love my husband very much, and I do not feel good about leaving him high and dry to deal with the cops, but what the F was she thinking showing up like that? What was the best case scenario in her mind? That we were going to welcome her into our home again? And then everybody hugs and drinks hot tea together? Idiot. In the end, darling husband talked them out of pressing charges because she was playing up the little old lady routine pretty hard. He drove her back to the hotel, but that incident made her zero in on the seismic shift in my relationship with her. I didn't even come to the gate to deal with her. She had lost control over me. She could not get to me because she couldn't reach me anymore, either emotionally or physically. And as we all know, this is the recipe for an extinction burst. Bake at 350 Fahrenheit for 20 minutes until golden brown and toothpick comes out clean. Eek, this got longer than I expected, so I will tell you guys of her second run-in with the cops in part 2.5. We have got to read that now, in this video. Piercing Patty almost gets arrested the second time, part 2.5. Some of you expressed how disappointing it is that I am back here again, and I agree. I truly thought PP and I were on the mend, and that we were going to be the one of the lucky ones that survived a just no incident. I wanted to forgive her, but I needed time to heal. She, however, did not feel as if I was forgiving fast enough, and for the past 6 months or so has been trying to needle herself back into our lives. It began with her asking once a month if she could visit. And then it became every week, and then it became an almost daily chore to tell her no. I think I'd have to block her phone number at that point, I'm not gonna lie. No, you cannot stay with us. We aren't over what you did yet. Like a scab, if you keep picking at me, I can never heal. So her presence in my home became my hill to die on. I never lied to protect her feelings, I never gave her the runaround, and every time she asked me directly if she could come stay with us, I told her the truth. I do not trust you here anymore because of your actions. But still, she persisted. So, after the hilarious gate incident, or as I call it, Gate, I was stuck in an awkward position. You see, I still wanted to go see cousin-in-law in the hospital and make sure auntie-in-law had all the tools she needed to do her mumming. But I definitely didn't want to interact with PP. Alas, I went anyways because I loved cousin-in-law more than I hated PP. Auntie-in-law needed some rest after all the excitement died down, and so I told her to go back to the hotel and I would take an evening shift with cousin-in-law. I bought cousin-in-law all her favourite junk foods and some fashion magazines. We were busy chatting about some boy that she had been seeing and whether he likes her, or likes her. Ah, to be young again. In waltzes PP with the worst look on her face. It honestly chilled the room. I don't know how to accurately describe this face, but imagine if you spent all day at the salon dropping tons of money on your stylist and colourist, and then coming home to your husband saying, "I liked it better before." Yeah, it would be that face. It was the kind of disdain only a woman could convey on her face. Hey, you know what? This isn't about me. We are both here for cousin-in-law, and I will just deflect to ease the tension. We can have World War III when we aren't caring for a broken-legged college student. Me. Hello, Patricia. I don't know why, but it cracks me up to be so formal with her. Like, suck it, we ain't friends anymore. PP. What are you doing here? Cousin-in-law. We're just hanging out. What are you doing here, PP? Where's Mum? PP. Auntie-in-law took a goober to Target. She packed so quickly that she forgot a few things. Seriously, is this what we're calling ride shares now? If I wasn't so annoyed with her, I'd find it endearing. Cousin-in-law. Oh, I'm gonna call her. Maybe she can pick up some personal items and some favourite snacks for me. Cousin-in-law gets distracted calling her mum, so PP's full attention is on me now. PP. I don't know what I did to make you treat me like this. Me. Seriously? Because it happened not that long ago. You broke into my office and compromised my client's privacy. That's what you did. Do you really not remember? I'm actually incredulous. PP. Are you still mad about that? I said sorry. Me. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal, Patricia. And you can say sorry until you're blue in the face. I'm not forgetting that it happened. You could have really messed things up for me and darling husband. PP. Well, you can't keep me out of your life forever. I'm darling husband's mother. I have a right to be in his house. Me. He only owns half of that house, Patricia. Which half do you want access to? The left half or the right half? Ha! How many ways I could pronounce her name by emphasizing different syllables is a new fun game I play. PP. I would never speak to my mother-in-law that way. Me. You don't have a mother-in-law. So, like the top half or the bottom half? We could quarter the home and you could just stay in 2 quadrants at a time. Or cousin-in-law gets off the phone with her mum. Click. PP. Cousin-in-law, I came to bring you dinner. She hands over a bag of McDonald's. What I wouldn't do for a McDonald's right now. There's not one anywhere near me at all. And they don't deliver either anywhere near me. And it makes me very sad because I don't drive. Cousin-in-law. Oh, no thanks. I'm kind of full from the stuff MotherInPaws bought. That's the OP, by the way, just a reminder. You can just leave it there. I'll have some later. PP. Well, I can't do anything right, can I? MotherInPaws gets to do everything and I can't do anything. Cousin-in-law gets the most bewildered look on her face. PP. Go ahead and ruin your body with that junk. You just bought her Mackies. What you on about? She points to the pile of snacks I bought. I am a mother. I know you need real food to get better. Chill, lady. Chicken nuggets do not have medicinal properties. I mean, sometimes I feel like they might, though. Not gonna lie. MotherInPaws is not even a mother. She will never be a mother. She couldn't do what I did. Whoa, what? Okay, this thing just turned into another thing. So as I was just like shouting to act out that glorious scene, the postman knocked on the door with a parcel and my window was open. So they heard me squealing all of that. And I would love to know what the hell he is thinking. At this point, cousin-in-law is tearing up a bit. I mean, she's being yelled at for not eating McDonald's and she feels scared. I feel bad because I know that PP's anger is directed towards me, and so I get up to leave because I didn't want cousin-in-law to have to bear my burden. I'm gathering things and splash. PP tossed a big gulp-sized cup full of McDonald's Coke at me. What? Okay, first the F of all. This purse is Yves Saint Laurent, so you're basically dead to me for getting the leather wet. And second of all, you were being so loud a second ago that a nurse poked her head in, saw you assault me with your refreshing beverage, and called security. Cousin-in-law yells at PP to stop. Security comes in and cousin-in-law begs them to make her leave. I'm already on my way out because I need to mourn the collateral of war that is my expensive-ass handbag, and then it happens. She lunges at me, not to hit me, but to get closer to point in my face and yell some more. However, that is not how security interpreted the situation, and they armbarred her so hard she fell on her backside. Ha ha ha! She gets told that if she does not leave immediately, they are calling the police. True to her new MO, she grabs one of those mauve-pink plastic cups that was on cousin-in-law's bed table and throws it at one of the security guys. Oh my goodness. I genuinely think she wants to be arrested at this point, and then books it out of the hospital before they could arrest her. I honestly didn't think she was in any shape to run, but hey, I've been wrong before. It was impressively fast. Up next, the unforgivable thing that led to no contact. And I think that's where we're going to leave it for this video, and we will read that in the next one, because I'm sure you're dying to know, as I am, what led to the no contact. What is more unforgivable than the actions already? My goodness. This lady is unhinged. Okay, so I think that is where we are going to leave it for the day. You'll notice I haven't read any of the comments from any of the posts. I kind of don't feel we need to with this because it's more of like a continuing story. So I feel that it'll just be a little bit too much of a breaking the immersion situation. So yeah, hopefully that's not a problem for you guys. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, turn your notifications on, I'd appreciate you even more. And that's your initiation into the Cult of Void. Welcome! Whatever it is you're doing for the rest of the day, I hope you're having a really good rest of your day. Goodbye!